Thank you for having us here. Yes, judicial jurisprudence matters because it can bring reason behind the law, and it helps to bridge the gap of law, policy, procedures, and it can also sometimes correct the law, and it can make the law contemporary. More importantly, it is an opportunity that empowers among us to give the life to the law. And in fact, what I would say, the judicial jurisprudence can help laws to put in place, bringing due diligence. So this is a big opportunity we all judges have. So congratulations for wonderful study which you have conducted. It has really highlighted what you have achieved, but not only highlighted what you have achieved, but what way forward you have given to realize the paper, the judgment in the life of the people, life of women. So it's very important. But in this process, what also I feel important of this study is because it is not only a document that can give us what we have achieved, but I think sometimes it can also give us feedback on what went wrong, where we went wrong, how we should have gone with our own judgment. I think sometimes those kind of critical feedback is also important, because once judgment is delivered, it's a public property and people can criticize. People can give feedback and comment on us. And sometimes, because what we have also done in Nepal, we also did some geometrical study, because as Khusid has pointed out, we have been talking about unconscious biasness, but there is a conscious biasness, there is a prejudiceness, there is a stereotyping which is prevalent, not from the time people access to the court, in the process, even after judgment is delivered, it's not only prevalent in the society. So I think identifying those things also matters to be us more conscious, so that the consciousness is reflected in our judgments. And I was also quite inspired yesterday by Women and Law Initiative. In fact, they have recognized what women have been doing, what women can do, especially in a South Asian society, where the assumption, the notion is that women cannot do. And women's competency is every day questioned. In those social contexts, your initiative to recognize and to reflect what we have been, women have been able to, women have been doing, and not only nationally, you have also example of women being even in International Criminal Court, is quite a progressive and important documentation. I think we all have to also things to take away from Pakistan. Third thing, I want to connect again with the study. The study matters because sometimes study can bring evidences. And what helped, in fact, even in Nepal on gender jurisprudence, the mapping of law and mapping of critical analysis of judgment. Because when it comes to Nepali context, Nepali law, women had no right. Law was discriminatory, and even interpretation was influenced by the patriarchal mindset. So the documentation, the study in Nepal tried to do critical analysis of the effect of the law, effect of the judgment. Not only effect of law, but we also tried to see effect of some of the judgments. So based on those critical analysis, we use that document for advocacy. For example, women's independent existence. Women as was not recognized. Women were always seen as a dependent notion of a citizen. So we challenge the law based on those documents. We challenge even some of the interpretation. As a result, so many changes are taking place, and there is a complete transformation on judgment. But then what comes as a major obstacle in our society? Because when you challenge the law, when you challenge some judgments, everyone stands against you. The religion, culture, custom, tradition, which are the powerful agency of the state. And therefore, evidence-based study, evidence-based case study is important. And what we did in this process is, I think, Justice Kusid, you have pointed out certain things. Ratification of CEDA and using CEDA framework, the non-discrimination framework, the equality framework, state obligation framework was quite instrumental, not only identifying what discrimination, but going into deeper on indirect discrimination, not only in recognition in law, but also in enjoyment, in exercise, looking into the effect of the law. And while challenging those law and judicial interpretation, we didn't only challenge the patriarchy, but we also recognize that patriarchy is also within women. It's not men versus women, but within us there is a problem. And then we are not against the religion, we are not against the culture, but we are only against the discriminatory against the discriminatory culture. We are for fairness, for equality, for justice. So what you have identified in your study in this judicial interpretation on balancing cultural values and legal norms is quite important. And then I want to highlight one case of Nepal, especially the changing the rape laws, especially the marital rape law. Nepal had a law that said rape means raping others' wife. So your wife was excluded, and then the law was challenged, and the court says consent is the basis of marriage, and in the absence of consent, when marriage cannot be solemnized, therefore sexual relationship, even after solemnization of marriage, cannot be recognized. So in that case also recognized marriage is not a license for sex. Marriage does not mean you have a duty to consent for everything. So even within the marriage, it has to be a consensual marriage. But having this judgment, law was changed, but law was made bailable with 6 months imprisonment, and immediately 2 women filed the case, and those 2 women went to the court, and there the court says, no, you cannot discriminate on the basis of your relationship. And finally, I would like to say, re-evaluating evidence which you have in your study, and sometimes re-evaluating evidence is important, and I want to share one of the judgment where there was acquittal of the accused because there was inconsistent statement of victim. And in this case, the court recognized rape trauma syndrome. At the same time, the court said, in case of rape, why you are looking at you are denying, why you are not able to establish the rape because of there is a inconsistent statement on location. In this case, court says, when it comes to rape, woman's body itself is a location of crime. I'll stop here. Thank you.